Season 5, Episode 6, The Next Level Chef has ended, but we are just getting started. Welcome to the official, unofficial Next Level Chef podcast.
I became an artist, and thank God I did, because we are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever this podcast may find you. I hope that it finds you in great spirits. Welcome, friend. I am your host, Honest Am of the Dear Showrunners podcast, a podcast that is all about TV, and just a little life. And this season, we will be covering Next Level Chef. Now, before we get into the episode, I want to let you know what really stuck out to me. We've talked about this all season, how this is not just a cooking competition, but this is truly a game about moving through pressure and how do you handle stressful situations. In this episode, we were able to see the contestants that were able to stay out of their head and stay calm under pressure are the ones who excelled, and we'll talk about the ones who struggled. Now, you already know who our mentors are, but I'll mention it one more time. We have Chef Naisha Arrington, Gordon Ramsay, and Chef Blaze, who is going to be our returning champion. Now, this competition, they have a chance to win $250,000 as well as a year-long mentorship with these three wonderful mentors. This challenge this week is all about a bowl in one. Contestants are going to have 30 minutes to make a next level protein bowl. I don't know about you. I don't eat a whole lot of protein bowls. Maybe I started getting into it. I don't know. You know what? Do Chipotle count? Is Chipotle a protein bowl? Because if it is, I love them. But on top of our contestants having to create this 30-minute next level protein bowl, they have to do it while the platform continues to move. And so it had to be the most stressful episode that we have watched so far. I had a lot of emotions. I was really upset. Spoiler, I really didn't like the result and how things ended up. Love the winner, hated who was sent into the elimination round. The first person we're going to talk about, we're going to go up to the top level. We have the Gordon girls. So they get the first grab at these proteins. And so as the platform is going, it's not stopping, y'all. So it's like they just literally have to grab. You can literally see in the camera where Andy Little feet is like hitting up against the glass as the platform is going down. And so on the first time of the platform going down, Cole walks away. She has like literally nothing in her hands. And you can tell she's like starting to freak out a little bit. Ramsey is like, it's okay. It's going to come back up. And so it goes down to the next level. When we get to the middle level with our Naisha Warriors, most of our contestants are able to grab a protein except for Machete. He did not get a protein on that first grab. And then it goes all the way down into the basement. And I don't know. Please, y'all, I need y'all to talk to me. Please send me an email at dearshowrunners@gmail.com. Is it just me, or did it feel like the platform literally sat in the basement? Like, it felt like they had a full 30 seconds to do their grab issues. Like, it felt like we're literally from the top on up, that platform was moving. It felt like when it got to the bottom level, it just sat there. Maybe call it bad editing or what, but it felt a little biased and it felt like the basement had way more time. And so Christian was able to walk away with some duck. He's like, I will kill for duck and I didn't have to. And that's just because the platform is moving so fast. I want to say Jared was able to get red prongs. It's like basically the basement ended up getting the best proteins because the platform sat there for like 10-15 seconds. And so as the platform is going back up, Machete, he's able to make a decision on two things that he could choose between, and he ended up getting the salmon cod. Cole had her eye on his flank steak. Oh, Emerson didn't get anything on the first round either. Emerson ended up grabbing that. And so when the platform is coming back up, Cole is trying to move around so that she can get the pork belly. And as soon as she pivots to try to get on a better side, the platform's gone. So when the timer starts, remember, they only got 30 minutes. When the timer starts, Cole has nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. Mama only has, like, 3 items. I think she has some sage, some kale, and some frozen spinach. And so she's freaking out. She started crying a little bit. I love that Andy came over. If we pay attention so far as since they've been in a team, Cole has really been the heart of that team. And so she's always encouraging the ladies, like, "Keep going, you got it," always picking up somebody when they may be down. And so it was just really good to just see Andy pay that forward and come back over and let her know, like, "Hey, girl, it is okay. Do not cry. You're going to be okay." And one thing that we really have to take away from Cole in this moment, and we're going to, of course, this is definitely going to be our life lesson for this episode, but she literally said to herself, "If I get in my head, I am going to lose." And so in that moment, she had to really compose herself, because if she just stayed negative and like, "Oh my God," and regardless of if the platform was coming or not, she would have already lost the battle in her mind. And so it was so important for her to just have that attitude that if I get in my head, I'm going to get fucked up. So I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay on the prize. I'm going to start working with these little three little things I got. And when the platform comes out, I'm going to dart over there and get myself a protein. Just really love how Cole composed herself in that moment. When really she could have just had a whole crash out moment. And it would have been warranted, but I don't think it would have helped her in the competition. And she knew that. Another thing that I want to point out, because I follow Cole on Instagram. Make sure that you are following these contestants on Instagram. I know Cole was doing a series called Behind the Levels, where she actually talks about her mindset. But as I was looking on her Instagram page, I saw I don't know if it was like the cook in an actual competition or her just if this is just something she do every time, but saw her literally meditating before she cooks. Now, if you haven't listened to that exit interview with Chef Kevin said that these chefs, they are athletes. And so I love how Cole takes that time to just meditate before she gets in the kitchen. And lo and behold, I bet you it was that meditation, her taking that time to compose herself, that she was able to move through pressure. And it was just really, really beautiful to see. Cole was able to grab a pork belly, but the problem is she's been a vegan for 8 years, and so she really didn't want to work with the pork belly. It's not a protein she's cooked with before, but thank God for Chef Ramsay there. He really helped guide her through that. And I wanted to say something just because I thought it was funny, but when it was like she was looking at the pork belly, and she's like, "It's looking at me," and I'm looking at it, and it was the way that it was in a bowl, it kinda looked like an eggplant. And if I'm saying eggplant as the emoji because I'm trying to keep this podcast PG, but it did look like that. I just thought that was just hilarious. Another thing just to mention, Andy was struggling a little bit because she got tuna as her protein, and she said that she wasn't really familiar with tuna. And so she was using the guidance of Chef Ramsay to kind of help her get through her tuna dish. And she really did have like this really complete dish. It's just that in the cook, she completely forgot about her tuna, and she ended up overcooking her tuna just a little bit. In the middle level kitchen with Naisha Warriors, we have Matt Dad. Matt Dad, he said he reached up on that platform thinking he was about to get some lamb, and he ended up pulling out ribs. He said there's no way that you can cook ribs in 30 minutes, but somehow, some way he did. The one thing about Matt dish is that Matt did not have a starch. Protein bowls, the base of it is a starch, and they all talked about this. All the judges kept talking about having those 3 layers, and that starch was very important. But for some reason, Matt only had the Brussels sprouts, and I watched the episode several times. Not one time when he went back on that platform was he actually looking for a starch. So it wasn't even like he realized that he didn't have it and tried to make up for it. He didn't. He was like, "Oh, I need a green, or I needed this." And again, it can be editing, but from what we saw as the viewers, it didn't even seem like Matt was paying attention to the rules for the competition. But let's talk about Mr. Emerson. Emerson, I told you, he started it off. He did not have a protein, but he did eventually, he ended up grabbing some tofu. He grabbed a flank steak, and basically he had all of these random ingredients. And he literally said, like, "I'm going to have to pull this dish up out of my ass." And one thing that I really, really loved about Emerson is that he realized he actually went a step further and made handmade egg noodles while he was stressed out, while he was under pressure, while his hand was shaking, while he was worried about going into elimination. And so you can already hear my voice. I'm passionate about Emerson. I'm passionate about what happened. I don't think it's fair. I'm trying not to jump ahead, but I just really want to highlight in this cooking section the difference between the contestants and how they handled their adversities or how they just left them alone. The other thing I want to point out before Naisha Warrior started to cook, we had a little squabble, as you would say, about this what station everybody was going to work in. I don't understand why you're trying to get a new station. It seems like they had a rhythm of everybody, cooking at the same station. But Daniela was really worried about the platform. And so she wanted to have a station that was closer to the platform. And she was basically trying to like bully Emerson out of his spot. And I'm kind of glad that he stuck he stuck to it and was like, no, I've been cooking here. I'm going to keep working here. And she tried to say, oh, that was a D-bag move. He wasn't being a team player. But it's like, no, girl, actually, you have so many receipts of you not being a team player. And so if Emerson want to keep his same station, then let him keep his station. Let's go into the basement. Honestly, the basement, they really, really were doing well down there. They were thriving. One thing that Christian really wanted to do was he wanted to not only poach an egg, but fry that bad boy, which sounds got like so freaking yummy. But Jared, what I tell y'all about Jared, I told y'all last week, keep your eye on Jared. Jared ended up coming up with a really nice composed dish about like some flaming hot Cheetos and these beautiful red shrimp prawns. Like he came up with a really, really good dish. And so taking us right on into the mentor debate, some of their top dishes that the mentors really, really enjoyed was machete. He made this beautiful salmon bowl and he made these buckwheat noodles, which I kind of think is like a cold-based noodle, but they just said it was like a classic, refined, very fancy protein bowl. And he did really, really good with that. They really, really enjoy those. When Blaze was eating it, one thing that he said is that I wish that I could have this as my lunch. Naisha said that the ingredients may have been simple, but they were like super flavorful. The next dish that they really enjoyed was, of course, was Christian's his duck with that beautiful fried poached egg. I mean, out of the basement, like it really was an amazing dish. They also really, really kept talking about Jared and his shrimp prawns and how Aisha said they were some of the best shrimp they've had in the competition. And they talked about how he used that Cheeto crust to kind of encoat the tater tots to just make it like a fun dish that everybody can enjoy. Some of the dishes that they really did not enjoy was, of course, Andy's tuna. They thought that that was like completely overdone and it messed up. Matt Dad with just the ribs. They said that was not a bowl at all. Our girl Amber, she had like an octopus. It really did look like more of a pasta dish than a bowl. And this is the reason why I really have a beef about the elimination round because we know that this competition is supposed to be about a protein bowl. Blaze, he was very clear about this isn't a bowl. And so who ended up winning this competition is Cole. And I was so happy and just the way that she was just able to just overcome that adversity after literally having nothing after the first round. So I'm just like extremely, extremely proud of her and so happy to see that the Gordon girls are safe. And so Andy doesn't have to worry about going into elimination or using her pen. I really love how the editors really made it seem like Andy was going to be in elimination, and that was not the case at all. And so for our elimination, it comes down to the Naisha Warriors and the Trailblazers in the basement. And when we start with Naisha, Naisha says that this person, he's the best, he's come alive and again, he did it two other times. And so she's going to have him come back. Now, I will say, Naisha did say to Emerson one time, hey, you have to think about this tofu. How are you transforming this tofu dish? Are you going to marinate it? Are you going to fry it? And so when it came down to the judges actually tasting the dish, he nailed the protein, nailed the noodles, but they said that the tofu tastes like I'm eating grandma's sponge. Naisha put Emerson in the elimination challenge again, and I just do not agree with it. Like, what's the point in being like, oh, you did this amazing. You cooked these noodles under pressure. Like, he actually went a step beyond and wasn't just like, "Oh, well, I didn't grab it on the platform, so I'm not gonna have a starch." He created his own starch. So how do you have somebody who didn't even try to create his own starch, who didn't even try to go back to the floor platform to get that, not touch the elimination? Like, I just did not agree with that, and it really reminded me of Kathy last year. Like, what is the point of Emerson actually going above and beyond, pushing past his own anxieties, and then, like, your way of thanking him is to be like, "Oh, well, go prove it again." Like, I just did not agree with that. I thought Matt Dad should have been in there. He did not have a bowl. He did not even try to create a bowl, and I just don't agree with who she put in. But anyway, so Emerson is put in elimination. Christian is put to go against him. Blaze picked Christian because he did this last year. The difference between this year and last year, his first round pick was the first one to ever do the elimination showdown, whereas this season, Christian is actually the second person to do the elimination challenge. So, a little different, but I'm fine with it. He put Christian in. It was kind of like a what the fuck moment. Because again, it's like, what is the point in doing well on these teams if the punishment is to go into elimination? Like, I don't want a mentor like that. I'm so sorry. Like, no, thank you. I don't need no tough love like that. So in the elimination, we have Emerson and we have Christian, two people I absolutely love, two people who, I was rooting for to win. And so, of course, I'm not excited about this elimination. Of course, I'm pissed off about it. And the elimination challenge is all about making a flattened protein. Christian went with a traditional chicken parm. When he made it with like this creamy spaghetti, his drama was that he forgot to put the spaghetti in late. And so he really was pushing it to the last minute to, complete his dish. Emerson did a pork chop. I know he says like Japanese, I don't even want to murder it, but it was like a pork chop dish with some type of curry sauce. Presentation wise, Christian definitely had it up on him, but in the end, they end up sending Emerson home. I'm glad he went out like a champion. And in the end, when he was literally getting his, taking his apron off, a butterfly came and like everybody started crying. I started crying. He talked about how he lost his friend a couple of years ago and how he just really asked him to kind of be with him and his cook. And like, I really do think like that butterfly was symbolic of it because it just literally came out of nowhere. So it was just really beautiful to see, like, even though Emerson left, like he left on a high note, he left on a highly spiritual note. I'm glad that he was able to have that. And I hope that he was not discouraged in this competition anyway, because I truly, truly think he's a damn good cook. Final thoughts, life lessons. The one thing we can take for Emerson is you do the best that you can do. And if you lose anyway, at least you can walk away with your head high knowing that you gave it your best. That's why it's so important to put your best foot forward. And I feel like that was Emerson. Like he may have been in the last 3 elimination challenge, but every single time he tried to get better. Every single time he pushed himself a little bit further. He didn't just stay in this negative mind state. And I just love that about him. And so he may have been eliminated from this competition, but he is a winner in life. He gets to go back home to his kids, and I just hope that this helps him like take his cooking to the next level because he got it. He can do it. And I, for one, would love to go to an Emerson pop up. So shout out to him. I really, really hope that he's okay and he's okay with how the competition ended because I'm not. I don't think it was okay. I really was just like, Naisha, girl, like, what was that? She even like touched Emerson's hand because he was shaking. And she got like him just overcoming adversity. And for him to go home for some tofu, it reminds me of when Chef Kevin was talking about the first elimination for the pro chef's audition. You don't send somebody home for aioli. Like, you don't send somebody home from some tofu when you got somebody on your team who didn't even try to make a starch. I'm not okay with that. So anyway, let me get off of that. Life advice and Cole. Talk about walking through the fire. Talk about becoming who you already know you are. I love that she said, I am who I think I am. And that is why you have to challenge yourself. Whether you are in a competition or just in life, you have to try to do new things so that you can show yourself that you are exactly who you think you are. That's a really big part of why I'm doing this podcast. Like, it's not about me getting anything out of it. It's about doing it and creating it and seeing if I could be who I think I am. Because, yeah, I would love to be a full-time TV podcaster where I'm reviewing TV shows, or this is an official after show podcast. Like, that is a goal that I have in mind. And so instead of just having that goal, or instead of just dreaming and hoping and wishing, it's like, no, I'm actually going to do it. And then I'm going to see what I get out of it in the end. And so that is why you have to challenge yourself, whether you're entering into a competition or whether you're just challenging yourself for life. And I love how Cole was able to just see, like, I am exactly who I think I am. She was able to pivot when she had disaster and come out on top with the best dish. Literally everything that we've been talking about in the last 2 or 3 episodes, Cole proved it in this one. And I, for one, am just so happy to freaking see it, because it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So our life advice that we get from Cole this week is to stay out of your head. Something I tell my clients all the time, that your mind is nothing but Google on steroids. So which means it's nothing but a search engine of all of your past experience, past thoughts, past observation, shortcomings. And so when you are doing something brand new, your brain is going to automatically go to the worst case scenario, because it wants to protect you, and 2, it does not have the data to let you know that you're going to be okay in this situation. So that's why it's going to put up the danger, because we're still cavemen in the cave looking at the fire, right? So our life advice for Cole is to stay out of your head, because your mind is nothing but Google on steroids. When you are doing something brand new, your mind is going to say danger, danger, danger. And if you have that fight or flight mentality, you can't think clearly. And so Cole showed us beautifully, if you can breathe, if you can stay calm, if you can stay positive, you can come out of anything. Mentor beef. I got beef with the mentors. I don't know if the mentors are beefing with each other, because they all seem to be on one accord. I would, I don't have, I have beef with the mentors. I did not like how Naisha did that. I don't know what's going on with her this season. And I'm just gonna leave it there. Predictions. I want to see Mad Dad. I was like, don't let me stop. I'm like, no, I want to see Mad Dad hands on a spike. It's like, nah. Do I have any predictions? I do have predictions. My prediction is, after I saw that performance with Cole, it was just something about the way she was able to pull that up, that I was like, oh, this girl is taking it. Like, Cole is not playing with this competition. And so I really, really see the top, in the top 3, I see it's going to be Cole and Christian. I really do think it's going to be them 2 duking it out. So we'll see. That is my prediction so far. Let's see if I can come up with a third by the next episode. The next episode, it says it's going to be a star-studded affair. I do love that it seems like they're coming out with some, like, different type of challenges this season. It seems like this is going to be like kind of a Hell's Kitchen type of challenge, where the whole team have to complete like a 5-course dish for star-studded. So this will be very interesting to see. I'm just looking forward to it. But I would say I think I am gonna have to, like, climb in Emerson DMs, because I hate it. Like, maybe I think if I could talk to Emerson, I will feel better about the whole situation. But that is all I have for you. We are at the end of the episode. I will be back next week, next Monday. My life is a little bit differently now, so I'm recording this on Sunday, but I'm still glad that I was able to get this out. So you know what I'm going to say. Until we meet again, dream them dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let the internet tell you what you cannot do. I am your host, Honest Am, of the Dear Showrunners podcast. If you love what you hear here, please make sure you check me out at www.honestlysis.com. Thank you, friend, for making my dreams come true. Now get your ass out there and work on your own. I will see you at the top, friends, for the next level.